today we are going to talk about the future of employment, right? So what is going to happen, excuse me, what is going to happen between year 2020 and year 2030 is the topic of today's webinar. Uh, of course, we have already entered into the world of artificial intelligence, and we are going to see what is going to happen to our jobs, right? If you are a today I have seen it is approximately 50-50%. 50% of you are either students or graduates who are yet to get employed, and 50% of you are already employed, right? So what is going to happen in our life is what I am going to discuss with you today. Also, I'm going to discuss with you what will be the new skills, what employers will look for in employees. And then I'm going to brief you on 8 professions which are going to grow tremendously between year 2020 and 2030. And all this has come from a synthesis of the global research as well as the Indian research. So we have used research from especially from India. We have used research from ASSOCHAM. We have utilized research from FICCI, right? And globally, we have utilized research from Deloitte and E&Y majorly. Of course, there are so many surveys and research, but these are the main reports, what we have utilized in giving you the synthesis of what is going to happen in near future. And also at the end, I am going to talk about competency development oriented education. That is, if we need to flourish in artificial intelligence world, what kind of education will be needed? And when I say the education, it is not only normal education and degree, but I'm talking about competency development education, right? So these are the topics of today's webinar. And instead of now taking poll, because I today on the Zoom the quantum is not very high, so instead of poll, I'm going to ask you few questions wherein you need to respond in the chat box. So be active in the chat box. So whenever I'm going to ask question, please type in the chat box so that I will understand your current understanding, and then we will move forward on the relevant topic. So the first relevant topic is artificial intelligence world and jobs, right? I'm not going to launch poll, so just see this particular question, and there are 4 answers, right? And yes, you got it right. 3 and 4 are the right options, right? So in artificial intelligence world, although many types of jobs will be taken over by machines, many new jobs and new functions are going to emerge, resulting into new employment opportunities. And today we are going to see that is, are we in a position, right, to get benefit from these new employment opportunities? And if you have to take benefit of these new employment opportunities, what precisely you need to do is the subject matter of today's webinar. And the second is the 4th option, which most of you have rightly said that is a right trend. That is, all of us need to reskill and upskill, and lifelong learning will be the trend. So these are the 2 right options, and which most of you have got it right. Great. So we are going to see this with a very small video, and I'm going to show you 2 videos. One is specifically on artificial intelligence, and one is specifically on what is going to happen because of artificial intelligence to our jobs. So these are the 2 back-to-back small videos. Now I'm going to run.
Welcome to YouTube Original Stages, once home to Howard Hughes' Spruce Goose assembly hangar and home to much of the first Iron Man, filmed 12 years ago. Many happy memories here. And speaking of taking a look back, technology. It's advancing faster and taking less time to be widely adopted than ever before. Like, as in it took roughly 10,000 years to go from writing to printing press, but only about 500 more to get to email. Now it seems we're at the dawn of a new age, the age of AI, artificial intelligence. Please define.
AI is a branch of computer science dealing with the simulation of intelligent behavior in computers.
Okay, there you have it. What does it mean?
artificial intelligence is changing everything, from how we live to how we work, and even how we think. It is transforming our lives. Over 2 million people use Amazon's Alexa to do everything from switching off the lights to providing the latest stock quotes. Netflix knows what kind of movies we enjoy. Chatbots can help us apply for jobs or book our holidays. The digital innovation system, SAP Leonardo, will help us and our customers to be more productive, efficient, and effective in the workplace. It will help us make better, more unbiased decisions and free us up to focus on critical tasks. The potential of new technologies seems limitless. What if they could help us solve the world's biggest challenges? Will qualities such as emotional intelligence, empathy, and integrity gain new value in the marketplace?
So let us see now what is going to happen to our jobs.
This series is about the future of work. We'll look into how companies and individuals can thrive in a digital, hyper-connected new economy, a world in which transformational technologies are changing the way we work, live, and do business. There's a lot of heated discussion about automation and artificial intelligence threatening many jobs. People are fearful, as many corporations are firing loads of people around the world all across the industry. And it's clear that no industry is safe. It is not a matter of if, but a matter of when the industry will get disrupted. But is there really only bad news? Will we be out of jobs in the future? According to the World Economic Forum, 75 million jobs will disappear because of digital disruption. And that's a lot. But on the other hand, 133 million new jobs will be created. And that's almost double the previous figure. So there's a huge need for people to work in this new economy, and more than we'll probably able to fulfill. But then why are people so afraid? Because these new jobs require a whole new set of skills. In fact, every person will need to replace 42% of their current skill set in order to stay relevant in this new economy. And that's almost half of what you know now. You need to replace it. In order to replace your current skill set with new ones, on the average, every person needs to get about 101 days training for upskilling. And it doesn't end there, because the current average lifespan of a skill is only 18 months. And that means that once you acquire a new skill today, 1.5 years later, you'll have to reskill again. So if you're wondering if you'll have a job in the future, the answer is yes and no. Yes, you'll have a job, and probably too many to choose from, but only if you upskill yourself with the right skill set and if you upskill yourself continuously. In summary, skills are the new currency, and learning is the new oxygen. So are you ready to thrive in a new economy?
Okay, so it is not about only questions. You can comment on your understanding as well. So whatever you have understood from these two videos, right? And they actually provide a great amount of information in a small time. So whatever you want to comment, please comment on the chat box. If you have a question, of course, ask question. If you do not have question but want to comment, want to reiterate your understanding from these videos, please type in the chat box. Let me understand your understanding after going through the videos. Upgrade on skills is very important. Divyansh, yes, you are right. And upgrade on which skills is now I'm going to talk after this particular session, means after this Q&A, I'm going to talk about which skills. Yes, the thing is with technology upgradation, we have to upgrade our skills to match with it. It is not only related to the technology related skills. It is not we matching the technology, Hiru, right? It is something much more. Actually, in artificial intelligence world, it will not be the technical or technology skills, but it will be different kind of skills what we will require. And Hiru, we are going to see it during this webinar. New skills daily upgrade. Yes, so okay, so the daily is great, but yes, continuous learning is needed. Shabana says self-learning to enhance skill as per requirement. Yes, absolutely. Self-learning is absolutely essential. There is no doubt, because now the information is already available. You can have many sources to learn. but there is a need of professional assistance as well. Only with the self-learning, learning everything might be difficult, but yes, few of the things can be learned through self-learning. Agree. COVID made things different. The upskilling and the self-analysis, Aditya, very right, very right. Upskilling and the self-analysis is very important. Divine says from personal to professional skills, we need to upgrade it. Yes, personal as well as professional. You absolutely got it right. The video shows the true forecasting and we must take it sincerely. Yes, yes, it is the fact. What is going to happen actually, whatever the figure they have shown, that is 75 million people will lose jobs. It is basically some kind of jobs, not all kind of jobs, right? So the jobs which are repetitive in nature, for example, BPO jobs, wherein there are basically customer queries and we are responding. Now, the artificial intelligence will understand the customer question and it will respond automatically. So the human intervention in the telecalling, especially the automated kind of menu-driven telecalling, you type 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the voice will come and all that. Everything will be absolutely automated. Even the assistance, means many times you have seen type 1, 2, 3, and if you want to talk to our assistant, type 9, and then a person comes. Instead of person comes, now computer and the machine is going to talk to you, right? Accounting. Many accounting jobs are going to vanish and all the accounting will be again automated. Many entry-level jobs which are repetitive in nature, right? Many jobs which currently blue-collar people are doing, especially assembly jobs in the industry, are basically are going to vanish because of the automation. So this 75 million is for that. But more than 100 million jobs are going to created where? Out of that 100 million, only few jobs will be technology. Maximum 90% of the jobs will be created in people skill, in leadership, in management, in creativity, in innovation, right? So this is the thing. Many people think that, okay, we must be expert in the technology to survive in artificial intelligence world. Unfortunately, it is wrong. Because what is going to happen? Right, most of the people are going to now learn technology, so supply will be more, but the demand is going to remain same. So you need to have different kind of skills. Which kind of skills is what we are going to see today. Both the skills need to be upgraded. Neil, yes, yes, correct. So now please type in the chat box, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which skills will be needed as per the employers. That is what employers are going to look for in employees now on. I'm talking about year 2020 on. I'm not talking about distant future. I'm talking about now and next 10 years. What can be the trend? What employers will think, and they will check those skills at the entry level itself, right? 1, 2, 3. Okay, people skill, creativity, emotional intelligence, all the above. Okay, so you have chosen the 6th option, all the above. 2, creativity. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 5, adaptability to use of technology. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Divyan says all the above, right? So the 1 to 5. Shweta says 1 and 5, people skills and adaptability to use of technology. Okay. Let us see. Let us see. Okay. Few more, fast. Be quick. All the above. Smita. Okay. All the above. Gaurav says 1 and 5. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 5, 1, 5, all the above are the, this is the trend, right? So, okay, I have understood. Yes. So Anusuva Das is a regular person. Yes, I recognize you, Anusuva. Yes, all the above. Fine. Okay. I have understood. I understood. So Simi says 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. Perfect. Simi Pixelal has got it precisely right. right? 1, 2, 3, and 5 are the right option. Only wrong option here is administrative and support services skills. They will be taken over by machines. They will be automated. All these support services and admin jobs will go away. And this is the reason why you need to have a higher kind of education, because lower education gives you entry into administrative and the support services and at a operating level. But these skills are going to going to be taken over by machines, right? So now only admin skills and the support services skills are not going to give you employment in near future. People skill, yes. Creativity, yes. Emotional intelligence, yes. Adaptability to use of technology. I'm not talking about technology creation. I'm not talking about you learning machine learning and data science. I'm talking about you getting help of that particular technology. You should know how to utilize the technology for your benefit, for your organization's benefit. You need not be data scientist yourself. Of course, few will be doing it, but they will be very few, because all this technology thing do not require too many people, right? A small quantity of the people. I'm talking about the percentage. For example, there are say 100 graduates and the postgraduates who are looking for job. Out of the 100, only 10 can get jobs in technology areas. Balance 90 can get job in future, not in administrative area, not in BPO, not in support services, not in accounting, but they will get jobs if they are higher educated and if they have developed their skills in people skills, creativity, emotional intelligence, and adaptability to use of technology, as well as they have a flexible attitude, right? So this is, people now are talking about the attitude of the employees, which is now prime important than any other thing. And this small video will give you a good idea of the top 5 skills employers are now looking for.
What are the top 5 job skills every company will be looking for in 2020 and beyond? Hi, my name is Bernard Ma, and let's dive straight in. Number 5 is emotional intelligence. This is something that organizations have been looking for quite some time, and it is becoming more and more important. Our ability to understand our own emotions, express them, understand someone else's emotions. So EQ, something everyone should be focusing on. Number 4 is creativity. So we as humans have this amazing ability to be creative, to imagine new things, to dream up new things, to invent new things, and this is something every company will want in the future. Number 3 is flexibility and adaptability. What we are seeing is fewer and fewer skills and jobs for life. This means we need to constantly adapt. We need to learn new things. The half-life of skills is reducing at a drastic rate, meaning that what we've learned today will probably be out of date in 2 or 3 years' time. So this will become a really important skill everyone will need. Number 2 is data literacy. Data has become the fuel of this new 4th industrial revolution that we're experiencing at the moment. Companies are bombarded with data. We are seeing this massive data explosion. All of this data is worthless basically for companies unless they have the skills among their own people to use this data effectively and use it to extract insights and make better decisions based on this data. And there's a big gap in the market at the moment, so data literacy, a really important skill to have. And the number 1 skill is tech savviness. This new industrial revolution is bringing together lots of different major technology trends that on their own would transform businesses, but together are completely reshaping our world. We are now seeing artificial intelligence, big data, the Internet of Things, robotics, 3D printing, blockchain, all of these different technologies interacting with each other to change our world. And what everyone needs to do is to understand what these changes are, how fast these different technologies are developing, and what this means for you.
So now, before having some interaction, let me first complete the top professions during this particular decade. And as soon as I complete the top 8 profession, I want your understanding on what do you think about these particular professions and which is of your liking. So let me understand your feel as well. What I am presenting is a synthesis of all the research at a global level as well as at a level of India. And what now I'm going to present to you are the professions other than the technology professions. Right, we already know that in artificial intelligence world, big data is there, data science is there, machine learning is there, robotics is there. So there is a demand for people who can create the technology, but the demand is small in quantity. Right, so the India is a large country where there are so many employment seekers. Out of that, means maximum 10% can go to these domains, but the 90%, if you want jobs in future, what are the top professions is what the subject matter of today's webinar. Subject matter of today's webinar is not artificial intelligence related jobs. Okay, so with this, the top 4 are learning and development, key account management, corporate communication, and life coaching. So can you please type which profession you already know, that is on which out of these 4, just you have to type the names of the professions you already know. That is okay, what is this profession and is there any potential for this? So just type that particular name. For example, learning and development means L&D. If you already know about that profession, type it. Right, key account management, you can type a short form. Okay, so the Aditya says he knows learning and development and life coaching. Divyan says he knows life coaching. Hiru also says he knows L&D and life coaching. Shabana says L&D, yes, I know you are BEd and you are into the teaching line. Anubhav says life coaching. Neil Gadani says L&D and corporate communication. Neil knows, okay, good. So the many people are knowing L&D and life coaching. Great, 1, 4. Jayesh also, right? 3, okay. Few know corporate communication as well, which is good. 1 and 4. Okay, Shamli knows all. Good. So the Shamli, have you attended my earlier webinar? If yes, you type yes. If no, you type no. Shamli, yes. Yeah, so Shamli has attended the webinar. So she of course knows all the 4 professions. Okay, understood. Yeah, good. Hiru says 2 also because of pharma. Yes, Hiru, you are 100% right. Key account management is very popular function in pharma. You got it. Yes. Shweta says all. Okay, fine. Shamli, not this one's. Oh, okay. Okay. So Shamli then might have attended my Thursday's webinar on emotional intelligence and human relations. Or yes, correct. Neeraj says life coach. Okay, so I have understood, guys. That is okay. L&D, yes, okay. So many of you already know about L&D and life coaching, so I will not dwell much on it, but the L&D is a profession which is going to grow from 7,500 crore industry in India to 150,000 crore, 20 times growth. 20 times growth in this 10 years. Can you imagine the humongous growth this particular profession has and how many more people this profession will need in the next 10 years? So this one. Then many of you already know about life coaching and I'm happy and I hope that Master My Life has contributed something in creating awareness about the life coaching in the society, and the few of you might know about the life coaching because of our masterclass webinar series, and I'm happy to know that many of you already know about the life coaching. Life coaching is one of the most respected and one of the highest paid professions in the world. Highest paid means there is no other profession which pays you more than life coaching. That is called as highest paid profession in the world. So income wise great, growth wise great, respect wise, extraordinary, right? So phenomenal profession, right? So my Friday's webinar is dedicated only on the life coaching as a career and profession. Key account management, as Hiru rightly said, that he knows about the pharma, and there is a key account managers in pharma industry. So the Hiru, can you type whether these key account managers are respected or not? So because you already know it. So what do you think, Hiru? Are these key account managers respected in the industry or not? So if you think respected, type respect. Okay. Hiru says not to that extent. Shabana says respect. Yes. Key account manager is one of the most respected professionals in the industry. In my 10 years of career as a key account manager, so out of the 25 years of my career, I was key account manager. And of course, after some time, I became head of the key account management function, right, in automotive industry. Those 10 years of my life were wonderful period, because you represent top customers for your company. So the amount of respect you get from your internal company is phenomenal. Also, you are a single point contact for a large customer. So the amount of importance your customer also gives you also is phenomenal. So this is my personal experience. This is not a theory. This is not from book. Key account manager is one of the most respected individuals in the industry, right? And key account management function is where? The pharma is only one segment. It is there in automotive, in many engineering industries, in IT, in media and entertainment industries, in banking, financial services, insurance, right? Everywhere there is a key account management function, right? Great career prospect, high salaries, right? As well as high importance and the respect. Because see, it is not only about salary, right? When you are working, you want some respect, right? You want respect, you want career growth, you want appreciation from the people, you want some challenge as well, right? Because ultimately there has to be some interest in. So the key account management is that function which gives you kick, which gives you adrenaline, which teaches you. You travel a lot in key account management function. You see the world. So when I was key account management head, means I have traveled across the world. So this is what I'm saying. So wonderful memories what I have in this particular key account management function. Few of you also knows corporate communication. See, what is corporate communication? Corporate communication is communication within the industry, communication within the company. So communication has two aspects within the company, right? Internal communication and external communication. External communication is with the vendors, with the customers, with the media, is external communication. Internal communication means communication within the company. And now within the company, there are so many functions. Within the function, there are so many levels. There is a blue collar, there is a white collar, right? White collar means officer level people. Blue collar means who work on the assembly lines and on the shop floor. Now, within the white collar, right, there is a junior management, there is a middle management, there is a senior management, there is a top management, right? There is a board. So there are so many levels. So each level needs a different kind of communication message, right? So there is a digital communication, there is a business communication, there is a corporate communication, there is a visual communication, there is a emotional communication, that is do's and don'ts, everything. So the communication is a big thing, and this corporate communication covers all aspects. Once you become a corporate communication professional, your life changes. The amount of income you get, the amount of impact you have on your industry and internal people, right, is phenomenal. And your personal life also enhances because you become communication expert, and the major part of life is all about communication, right? So this is again a wonderful profession. That is, if you are in a position to either choose this profession to start with, or you are in a position to switch from your existing profession to this profession, you will be lucky, because these are, number one, high paying professions. Number two, they are highest growing profession in India, right? And number three, they all gives you great amount of respect. So these are the three qualities all these four professions has. Other than these four, another four professions which are growing are CSR, lean management, project management, and corporate compliance and ethics. So these are the another four professions. If you have any questions on this during the question and answer session, I will definitely take questions on these professions as well. So since we are talking about future of employment, this particular session is on career, right? So the future of employment means you want to make a career in the industry, right? And if you are an employer, you will also take many inputs from this, right? So what is career planning? So the number one, whatever career you need to plan, or you have to plan, or you should plan, has to be recession proof. For example, right now, someone has already mentioned, I think Rathod has mentioned rightly, now during the COVID time, there is a need of basically continuous learning and all that, upgrading ourselves, right? What has happened in the COVID? Automotive industry is 50% down. Manufacturing industry is 50% down. Right? Hospitality, hotel industry, travel and tourism, 80% down. Right? So now the industry is into the downturn. But few industries are doing well. Online industry is doing well. IT industry is not that impacted. Pharma industry is not that impacted. So how it happens in a life cycle? Depending upon the period, depending upon the problem in the economy or the problem in the world, few industries goes down. This is called as a cycle. Each industry has a cycle. For example, automotive industry has a cycle. After each 3 to 4 years, automotive industry sees dip and then again it grows. Now during the dip, what happens? Many people lose the job. Whether it is hospitality industry or whether it is manufacturing industry, they lose job. So the smartness lies in choosing a career which will not go into the recession in the first place. I'm talking about the profession. I'm not talking about the industry. Industry might go into the recession, but as a professional, your profession should be such that you can take job in the another industry segment without having any need of totally reskilling yourself. Right? Means, for example, you are a L&D professional. L&D is what? Training and development, right? So if the automotive industry is down, you can do training in pharma, you can do training in IT, because you are a trainer, right? You are not a technical person who can only do work in automotive industry. Corporate communication, same, right? Once you are expert in communication, the internal communication, external communication, you can do it in any industry. Life coaching, it is about life. So there is absolutely no problem. Key account management is about customer relationship, right? It is not about the core engineering or the R&D function, right? So as a key account manager, if there is a problem in any industry segment, you can go to any other industry segment if you have developed the key account manager's competency, which are basically customer relationship oriented, strategy oriented, right? Communication oriented, teamwork oriented. So this is how you need to finalize your career. This is called the smartness, so that you will not face problem in your life. Then, is your profession futuristic? For example, you are a telephone operator. For example, just I'm giving a hypothetical example, right? So means I don't want to demean say any profession, but what is going to happen? That the most of the telephone operator jobs will be taken over by artificial intelligence. That means you have not selected futuristic career. You have selected what is right now. There is a demand, but you are not sure whether there is a demand in future or not. Whatever I have explained, L&D, future demand. Corporate communication, future demand. Key account management, future demand. Life coaching, future demand. Right? Now, next, whatever you choose, are you going to choose only because of there is a future demand? That is one major aspect. But another aspect is, are you having strengths? Are you having competencies wherein you can become a trainer? Are you having competencies where you can become key account manager? Are you having competencies where you can become life coach or a corporate communication professional? So you need to basically match your interest, your passion, your competencies with that particular profession. And if you don't have that particular competencies, but you have interest, then you can develop the competencies through professional education, training, and development. So this is how one plans careers. This is called a smart planning, not the planning of what people are seeing and many people are doing. So these are the three criteria. So choose the career which is recession proof, choose the career which is futuristic, and choose the career which is aligned with your passion and interest. Competencies can be developed, right? So you must develop the competencies, but the competencies can be developed through education, training, and development. So what is future of employment? What are the competencies needed in future, and what kind of education is needed in future is what now I am going to cover. And this is a small video from a managing director of World Economic Forum.
There's been this fear that the fourth industrial revolution means that we all need to develop only technology-oriented skills or only highly scientific skills. In fact, the opposite is true. Some of the biggest rising skills of the next years are going to be creativity, collaboration, interpersonal dynamics between people, teamwork, specialized sales roles, HR-related roles, care-related roles, education-related roles. These are all things that are actually at the forefront of how people relate to each other. We will need to deploy technology across all of that, but it's going to mean a combination of being digital, but also being very human.
Great. Now, please put your comments on the chat box. Comments, question, whatever I have covered in last 15-20 minutes, please put your comments. It can be question, it can be your expression, it can be your understanding, whatever you want to put. Forum is open. I am now watching chat box. Science to commerce to arts and human skills. Yes. Well said, Anubhav. Actually, the trend is towards arts and human skills. You have just got it right. Anubhav Kanojia. Congrats. Good. Any other comment? Any other expression? Any other realization you had in last 15-20 minutes? Analytics in any field. Jayesh, you just got it right. Yes. Analytics in any field, analytics in key account management, analytics in learning and development, analytics in communication, right? Analytics in decision making. Perfect. You got it right. Yes. IG, what is your name, IG? IG says without human skill, nothing can succeed. Yes, you are 100% right. Aditya says today's generation understand this, but their parents don't. Okay. Please bring parents also to webinar then. Shabana Khan, emerging science and technology in every field. Yes, of course, no doubt, right? Science, technology, of course, much needed skills, professionals are needed, right? Boom in psychology and coaching. Dipiksha Tripathi, yes, 100% yes. Hiru says, as per experience, people who are deprived on technological knowledge are not treated well. In fact, this point should be strengthened as mentioned in the video. Oh, fantastic. Hiru has said a very great point. He says that people only give importance to the technology savvy people or the technology creators. But actually more importance need to be given for the people who have great people skills. Yes, Hiru, you are right. And this is the trend. It is going to happen. Do not worry. Sunny says, yes, both depends on students and parents. Yes, you are right. Everything is two-sided. Life is not one-sided. Great. Great. So good. So means I think you have understood it precisely very well. Child psychology, counseling skills, yes. Now we are developing more flexibility. Dr. Binita says yes toward this field. Yeah, agree. Thank you, SG. Yes, aware about the SWOT. Yes, correct. Neil says science does play a major role through the student's life with more digital technologies. Yes, Neil, science does play a major role. Digital technologies does play the major role, but people skills are the grandest, because we want to utilize science for the people, right? It is not that the people are for science. Science has to be utilized for the people. So people skills are paramount. Shabana says it is necessary to be aware or enhance emotional intelligence regarding education and training required as per need. Yes, the importance of emotional intelligence in education is paramount, highest. Nothing more is important than emotional intelligence in education. Number one need is emotional intelligence. You just got it right. Yes. So I'm very happy that you have understood the crux very well, right? So means maybe my communication has improved, I don't know, but I think your understanding is great today. So University of Mumbai, fortunately, from year 2017 onwards, when I was student, this facility was not available to me. When my son was studying, facility was not available to him. But this particular new generation, starting from 2017, does have a facility to learn emotional intelligence, people skills, human relation skills, life coaching skills. And these are all the skills what that managing director of the World Economic Forum was talking about in 2020. University of Mumbai has launched these programs in year 2017, which develops all the skills that MD was talking about. That is what people need in future, and that is what this particular postgraduate degree is based on. Okay, so now let us move ahead. What is competency based education? Because at the start of the webinar I mentioned about the competency based education. Not only education, because information is now commodity. You don't have to buy heart anything, because there is a Google. You can type in Google and you get the information. So the education or the memory is not at all important now. Why? Because why I have to remember when I can access any information in fraction of second, right? So now the education is required for something different. What is that? Okay. So just a gist. Any educational degree, right now I'm talking about master degree, but the same applies to the bachelor degree as well. But this particular example, this particular slide is basically expressing information on the master degree. So any master degree, whether it is MBA or MA, MCOM, MSc, gives you only one degree certificate. And that too, that degree certificate is related to any particular faculty. Sorry, my video was off. Okay. That degree certificate is related to any one faculty. That is commerce, you will learn accounts and finance, right? Arts, you will learn about your own faculty, whether it is economic specialization, psychology specialization, and the marketing means either you learn management plus marketing as specialization, or management and HR as specialization, and they will give you only single certificate. But unfortunately, that single certificate is not adequate. In my life, apart from engineering and MBA, I might be having more than 10 major certificates. Like that, there are many of different trainings and all that. But I'm talking about educational certificates. Other than the engineering and MBA, I have 10 plus. So there is a need of a education and training and development in variety of the domains which no education provides you, because education is faculty oriented. Education is very having a limited scope. No people skills, right? No other skills, no emotional intelligence, no psychology. Only your subject knowledge is what our educational pattern is. It is not interdisciplinary in nature, unfortunately. But the employers require people with so many skills, right? They want creativity, they want people skill, they want emotional intelligence skill, right? They want flexibility, they want resilience. अरे but ये कौन से कोर्स में ये पढ़ाया जाता है? This is the problem, na? And that is the reason many graduates are not in a position to get job, because what industry needs, what employer needs, and what you have studied is not matching. मैंने तो किसी एमबीए में या एमए में या एमएससी में या बीएससी में इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस सब्जेक्ट देखा नहीं, क्रिएटिविटी इनोवेशन सब्जेक्ट देखा नहीं, पीपल स्किल करके सब्जेक्ट मैंने देखा नहीं, लेकिन वही तो स्किल लोगों को चाहिए ना. तो अगर आपका एजुकेशन ही वो स्किल डेवलप नहीं कर रहा है तो आप वो स्किल कहां से लाओगे? दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम विद द current education system. Fortunately, what I am talking about today and what I am going to brief you, what Mumbai University has fortunately brought, fortunately for this particular generation, right? As well as the working professional also can take benefit because they can learn this as per their flexible time and all that. So these are the competency development programs which gives you 12 additional certifications. एक तो आपको वो मास्टर सर्टिफिकेट तो मिलता ही है. Other than that, you get 12 additional certificates. Employment opportunities with this competency development masters are flexible. You can change your career. For example, अगर आपने MBA marketing किया, now I am asking one question and I am looking at the chat box. MBA marketing करने के बाद में आप finance में काम करते हो क्या? Is a question. You have to just type Y means yes. N means no. No. Anubhav says no. Divan says no. Bala Sahib says no. Hiru says no. Right? So MBA marketing करने के बाद में आपके फेस के ऊपर वो ठप्पा आ गया. क्या ठप्पा है आपका? कि आप मार्केटिंग के आदमी हो. आप भी देखो. Okay, fine. So I think I have got the answers. Everybody is saying no. अभी आपके वो माथे पे ठप्पा आया कि आप मार्केटिंग के आदमी हो. अच्छा, जब आप एजुकेशन ले रहे थे तब आपको इतना आइडिया होता ही नहीं ना कि भैया मार्केटिंग में एग्जैक्टली मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा, वो मेरा पैशन है क्या नहीं है. जनरली हम चूज कैसे करते हैं एजुकेशन? क्या पॉपुलर है, कहाँ सैलरी ज्यादा है, कहाँ ज्यादा लोग जा रहे हैं, राइट? सो दिस इज द ट्रेंड, राइट? तो हमने वो एजुकेशन तो कर लिया. अभी 3 साल के बाद आपको पता चला यू आर नॉट एंजॉइंग. यार ये मार्केटिंग मेरे बस की बात नहीं, मुझे मजा नहीं आ रहा है ये करियर में, राइट? मुझे अभी चेंज करने का है, मुझे एचआर में जाने का है, मुझे किसी दूसरे फंक्शन में जाने का है. पॉसिबल नहीं है क्योंकि एचआर का आदमी आपको क्यों लेगा? वो एमबीए एचआर लेगा. सो आप क्या होते हो? आप फंस जाते हो. एंड मोर देन 50% प्रोफेशनल्स आर इन दिस कैटेगरी, राइट? दे स्टार्ट देयर करियर because at the time of education they don't have this much knowledge and afterwards उनको पता चलता है कि भैया इस जॉब में मुझे मजा नहीं है, लेकिन पैसे के लिए उनको पूरे लाइफ काम करना पड़ता है. So this is the problem with this kind of education. आर्ट्स करने के बाद में आप कॉमर्स में नहीं जा सकते हो, right? So this is the pattern because the pattern is not interdisciplinary. This is the problem of the pattern. This is the problem of the education system. राइट? बट ये जो कॉम्पिटेंसी डेवलपमेंट जो डिग्री है वो कॉम्पिटेंसी डेवलपमेंट है. वो आपका इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस बढ़ाएगी, वो आपका पीपल स्किल बढ़ाएगी, राइट? और वो जो स्किल्स है वो हर फंक्शन में लगते हैं. आपको क्या लगता है कि पीपल स्किल सिर्फ एचआर में लगते हैं? नहीं, मार्केटिंग में भी लगते हैं. आपको कस्टमर के साथ रिलेशनशिप डेवलप करने का है, परचेस में भी लगते हैं, आपको सप्लायर के साथ, वेंडर के साथ रिलेशनशिप डेवलप करने का है. सो अंडरस्टैंड द कॉम्पिटेंसीज are necessary in all functions of the industry, related to the people, related to the emotional intelligence, related to the creativity, related to the problem solving. These are the competencies. आपने competency development करने के बाद में आप किसी भी function में काम करो. आपको marketing में मजा नहीं जा रहा है, HR में जाओ, HR में मजा नहीं आ रहा है, marketing में आओ. Why? Because your degree is into people skills. Your degree is a competency development oriented and not functional degree. So understand this particular difference between a normal education degree and a competency development education degree. Competency development education degree provides you excellent life skills. And fortunately, there is an ecosystem available wherein you can learn flexibly. राइट आपको मॉर्निंग में पढ़ने का है मॉर्निंग में पढ़ो, शाम को पढ़ने का है शाम को पढ़ो, रात को पढ़ने का है रात को पढ़ो. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज लर्निंग 4.0 विच हैज स्टार्टेड ओनली फ्रॉम दिस ईयर. लास्ट ईयर ये फैसिलिटी नहीं थी. फ्रॉम दिस ईयर ऑनवर्ड्स फॉर्चुनेटली दिस कॉम्पिटेंसी डेवलपमेंट ओरिएंटेड डिग्री हैज दिस फैसिलिटी ऑफ लर्निंग 4.0. So these are the two degrees I was briefing you. One is called as MA in Emotional Intelligence and Life Coaching, where you become a life coach and you start your own practice. In most of the cases, few of the cases, people work in the industry as an executive coach. So 20% of the cases are that as well in our students. And the second degree is in Masters in Emotional Intelligence and Human Relations, which is futuristic employment oriented. It gives you specialization in learning and development, in key account management, and in corporate communication, the professions which are growing and going to grow further in next 10 years period.